Good evening. Good evening. Good evening and welcome. My name is Betsy Howard. I'm a member of the AVA Board of Directors and also the co-chair of the Development Committee. And my board colleagues, past and present, and I have some exciting news for you about AVA's future. Oh, it's fine. I'll try. Oh, okay. Anyway, so first, though, I'd like to introduce the artist whose beautiful work is surrounding us this evening. Now, they not only are talented artists, they also have been instrumental in planting the seeds that have bloomed into the vibrant AVA you see today. Winky Kelsey, William Peabody, and Jay Singh. A versatile artist, as demonstrated by her paintings, drawings, photos, and sculptures on display here in the Clifford B. West Gallery, Winky has been an ardent and generous supporter of AVA for years, along with her husband, Pete. Their generosity continues. All proceeds from the sale of Winky's work will benefit AVA. Winky also founded AVA's stone carving program and the stone carving studio in AVA's new Sculptural Studies building, aptly named after her. William Peabody, whose compelling encaustic paintings are on display in our E.N. Wenberg Gallery, has been involved with AVA since the early 90s. AVA's two previous capital campaigns benefited from Bill's and his wife Betsy's generosity. They've also helped fund several of AVA's programs, including Community Arts Open Studio and Art Lab. All proceeds from the sale of Bill's work here will benefit AVA as well. Jay Singh's bold contemporary sculptures are on display throughout AVA's gallery's spaces. Working mainly in wood, Jay also is a master instructor. In fact, AVA's woodworking program is thriving thanks to Jay's classes. We thank them all for their many contributions to AVA. And I also have to thank all of our volunteers, without whom none of us would be here tonight and nothing would exist here. Thank you, everyone. I mentioned I had big news about AVA's future. No, I'm not about to announce the new executive director. The committee is in its second round of interviews. It's going great. Expect something in the fall. But I do have other big news. In 2023, AVA will turn 50. Yeah. The seed that was planted 48 years ago has bloomed into the cultural hub of the Upper Valley. We already have begun working on plans for this major milestone, but it's also crucial that we ensure the health and vitality of AVA and the visual arts for the next 50 years and beyond. With that in mind, I'm thrilled to announce that we are embarking on a $2.7 million comprehensive campaign to honor past achievements and to secure AVA's future. Our From Seed to Bloom campaign addresses areas essential to AVA's mission, vision, and values. We will address the physical infrastructure needs of our beautiful Bank Street buildings. We will address our financial sustainability to eliminate debt and establish a reserve fund. And we will work to develop our staff and programs to continue to meet a broad range of abilities, needs, and interests. That $2.7 million will reach every corner of AVA. This is an ambitious goal, but AVA has always welcomed ambitious goals. We are trusted stewards of the funds gifted to AVA. We turn donations into something amazing. And with that, I can't think of anyone better to talk about our campaign than Pete Kelsey, generous supporter and chair of the AVA board some 15 years ago when we launched our first campaign that made possible the magnificent renovation of this Lebanon landmark, the former H.W. Carter and Sons overall factory, now aptly named the Carter-Kelsey Building.
This is quite a remarkable building, as is AVA. I remember I'd just become chairman of the board, and Banner came up one day and said, "Pete, I think we should buy this building." I practically fainted on the spot and said, "I think you better find a new chairman." But no, we bought the building, and within 48 hours, the fire marshal arrived and gave us 3.5 pages of corrections that had to be made to make this safe. At that point, we began the work, and thanks to Stu White and his imagination, he was able to transform this building into this magnificent center for the arts that we're enjoying today. But as you just heard, it's time to look forward, and that is what AVA will be doing in the near future. For one of the things that any building has is maintenance, and part of this campaign will be to do the maintenance that 13 years now have accrued to this building. And so with that in mind, this campaign is about to begin. But I think special thanks, I want to again acknowledge Stu White, because he's really the man that really changed, because I can still remember the day this work had been going on for, oh golly, about a year, and things were sort of here, and there were workmen, and things were falling off the roof, and et cetera. One day, though, I came through that door right there, the entrance now to AVA, and I was struck because you could look right down the entire building, and I said, oh my God, this is it. This is just what we needed, and this is AVA today. But now we're looking to AVA tomorrow, and I want to turn over to Linda Rausch, who had the joy of following me as the director, as chief of staff.
Not easy to follow such a prestigious friend here, Pete Kelsey. But just thinking back on the time when we were both on the board and chair, and when we were able to renovate this beautiful building and make it home for all of you who come so regularly and who have given so generously to not only our first campaign, but we had a second campaign where we were able to buy the little yellow building behind us and turn it into the Binta building, the Sculptural Studies building, and offer classes, three-dimensional classes for all artists who wish to work in that medium. And that too was a very successful campaign. We're very proud of it. And now we are entering a third capital campaign to update a lot of things that never got done and should be done. And we have a basement below us that maybe you don't even know about that could be used for extra space. We have other areas that need attendance and renovations. So we can only thank you all for continuing to come and support AVA and to give whatever you can to help our campaign. Thank you. I forgot to mention, our next speaker is Bill Dunn, also a former chair.
Thank you, Linda. So I'm Bill Dunn. I have been on the board and serving on various committees for over 13 years, primarily Finance Committee. And I think that's why they asked me to speak today very briefly about the financial sustainability portion of this campaign. So the financial piece of this campaign aims to remove the little bit of debt that we have when we had to fit out the Benta building out back. We were blessed with this beautiful sculptural studies building, but we had to bring equipment into it to put it to use. That came at a cost, so there is a little bit of debt that we would like to eradicate. The main reason is we are so fortunate to have 20 artist studios upstairs that generate income, and that income should be driving programming and people and the passion and AVA's mission rather than servicing bank debt. So that's one goal. The second piece that we're looking to do is to further fund our operating reserve. This is something new that AVA put in place this past year to help plan for rainy days. You never know when life's going to throw you a curveball, right? Mask anyone. So that changed our operations, and now we will be geared to face any other uncertainties that life throws at us. And thirdly, we heard Linda and Pete talk about these lovely buildings. We are charged with taking care of them for the next 50 years. So we're looking at establishing a building reserve fund, capital reserve fund, to help us fix the roof, change out windows, do whatever we have to do to take care of these magnificent buildings. So thank you. We look forward to your support. And I followed Linda as a board chair, and I followed her by forgetting to introduce the next person as well. So someday, next former board chair at some point in time, Mr. Colton Orr.
Hi, I am Colton Orr. I'm one of the newest board members at AVA. While my time on the AVA board may only be counted in months, my association with AVA goes way back. I started taking classes in this very building when I was just 12 years old. I'm happy to say that today I make my living as a digital artist. I worked for 3 years on the Spider-Man video games and then recently left that company to focus on my freelance career. Now, as many of you know, the life of an artist can be quite lonely, and when you layer on top of that the limited social activities for young adults in the Upper Valley, you can realize why a lot of my peers find living here is quite isolating, and they think it's easier to just move to a big city. But COVID changed all that, right? People wanted to get out of the city. I moved back from Los Angeles. I joined the board last fall, and I helped start a group called Expression Session, which is a young adult art group that meets regularly for drawing, painting, socializing. The group is growing, and if you want to find out more about it, we have a lot of fun photos and videos that we post on AVA's Instagram account. There's a lot of excitement at AVA about creating more activities like this, and I think it's absolutely essential that we do. Young adults moved back to the area during COVID, and now we need to give them a reason to stay. Your donations to this capital campaign will help create those opportunities by enriching the roles of the current staff and possibly adding new positions to address evolving needs. By making AVA a creative hub for young adults to make art and connect with each other, the seeds will be planted that ensure that AVA continues to bloom for another 50 years. With that, I'm going to now pass the mic off to our board chair, Alan DeStasio.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I'm Alan DeStasio, current chair of the board of directors here at AVA. I don't have an artistic bone in my body, so don't hold that against me, but I'm committed to its future. And one of the things that I've learned over the past 2 years that I've been associated with the organization is that an awful lot went into what you see here tonight. The commitment that so many people have brought to this organization since it started in a barn 48 years ago to what you see here today, in my mind, is quite an achievement. And it's really primarily due to the dedication of so many staff, volunteers, donors, patrons. It all contributes to the success and to the mission that AVA, I clearly see, is on a great path with. But as you heard from our colleagues tonight, we have a very big vision for the future. And we're prepared to accept that opportunity and that privilege to see it through to the next phase. So it's important, I think, that we really embrace the legacy that got this organization to where it is today and to ensure that it's here for future generations. So as mentioned earlier, the physical spaces are really critically important. But at the end of the day, AVA is really about people. So it's important that we invest in people and programming to ensure that we become and still be able to offer the type of services and programs that make this community so vibrant and are so important to so many in this community. And our physical spaces, including this historic landmark building that we're in tonight, a beautiful building, and it has needs like any older structure is. It's something that's unique to AVA, in fact, that we have such a beautiful building that deserves our attention to make sure that it is here for future generations to enjoy and use. And that's true of the Sculptural Studies building as well. And to speak towards Bill's comments about financial sustainability, yes, we are working very hard to ensure that the goal eliminates all of the outstanding debt that we currently have to ensure that the funds that we do raise go directly towards AVA's mission. And part of that goal is to establish a reserve fund so that we don't necessarily have to wait until there's a need that we can address. It's very critical to our thought process and where we want to go. So the board, its committees, the staff, the talented staff, and of course the volunteers, we're all aligned and ready to execute this vision, but we certainly do need your help. Your generous financial support is critical to the future and to the success of this campaign. Basically, would you please consider investing in AVA's future from seed to bloom in the support of the 50th anniversary, which I can't believe, even though I've only been here a couple of years, is only 2 years away. So it's coming fast, folks. So I really thank you for your time, your commitment, and your willingness to participate in this wonderful community and organization. And just remember that the beautiful art in these walls does contribute towards AVA's mission. So thank you very much for coming and have a great evening. No? Well, enjoy your evening. That is the end of our presentation. Thank you.